what is your relationship with failure? What do you make it mean when you don't get the outcome, the results that you were expecting or that you want? If you don't want to call it failure, you might call this challenges or setbacks or obstacles in your way. And for many people, I notice that when they experience a failure, they try something and they don't immediately get the results they want, or it didn't go perfectly, then they think something wrong has happened, that it's gone bad, right? For many people, it reinforces the idea that they can't do it. You ever done that one? It's like, I can't do it. It's too hard. That didn't work. Why bother? Why keep trying? Why go back to the drawing board? Well, because we all have habits when we're looking to create a healthy life, when we've not been living the healthy life we want, when we've not been living the best version of ourselves. We all have habits that aren't helping. And changing them requires that we do things differently, that we learn new skills, that we learn new thinking patterns, new mindset. Right? Mindset is just our habitual thoughts. We learn new thoughts, we learn new skills, and we train in new responses and reactions to new habits that help us live the life we want. So today, does failure just simply say to you, yep, you can't do it, and nudge you towards quitting? Does it hold you back from even trying in the first place? Because you're frightened it won't work, or you don't know how, or you're frightened you'll get it wrong? Or does it invite you to curiosity? Does it inform your next steps? Does it fire up again with determination? Today, I want to help you come to those last two. I want to help you change the way you think about failure so that you can learn to embrace it. I actually believe that failure is the path towards our success. And I'm going to share with you my thoughts about that and some ideas about how to use it for you in this video. Before I do, I should introduce myself to everyone who's new. Anyone who doesn't know me, hi, I'm Brian. I'm a life coach and a weight loss coach, and I've lost 50 kilos myself. I lost that in just over 12 months in 2006-07, and I've maintained my healthy weight ever since. For the last 13 years, I've been helping other people transform their thinking, change their habits, and actually create a healthy life they can live. So you can get to the goal and stay there. And I'd love to help you. So welcome if you are here joining me today for the first time, and welcome back to everyone who's watched me before. Most people are terrified of the idea of failure. You know, we get into this thinking that one poor choice or one overeating occasion, one attempted strategy that didn't work out means that you won't achieve a goal, and then we usually catastrophize it to mean we'll never achieve our goal. We often make it mean something about our character, that we're not good enough, we're not strong enough, we're not disciplined enough, we're not focused enough, we're just not smart enough. None of that is true, right? None of that is true. Failure doesn't tell us anything about us. It doesn't mean anything bad about you has happened. It doesn't tell you anything about your characteristics or your strengths. It doesn't tell you anything about your capacity for success. That is unchanged. Did you know that? When you experience a failure, you try something that didn't work, or you tried something and you didn't get the result you wanted. It's just feedback. Right? It's just telling you that more work, more practice is required, that you haven't mastered that skill yet. And I really want you to think about this, because there are so many things in your life. Think about everything that you can now do and that you can do with ease. You know, it might be brushing your teeth, writing your name, walking. Like seriously, I know we're going to, maybe you feel like this is an extreme example, but let's go back to toddlers, right? How many times did you have to fail at walking before you walked? As a child, learning to speak, learning to write, how many times did you have to fail at writing your name, getting your letters right? Putting the, I don't know, the stick on the A on the wrong side, putting the S back to front. How many times did you get those symbols wrong before you succeeded? How many of you failed your driver's test the first time, the second time? There are so many skills that we have now in our life that we didn't get right first go. The very first time we attempted it, we just mastered straight away. No, mastery requires practice. It requires getting it wrong and learning from that experience many, many times. And yet, somehow, when we think we're going to set a new goal for ourselves, we're going to make changes to our dietary intake, to our exercise, we're going to create a healthy life, we forget that that actually requires a whole heap, I don't know, hundreds, maybe 1,000 different habits to be trained in and to be mastered, to become automatic. Right? Our unhealthy life, the life that's holding us back from our success, is also made up of a great many habits. And you probably weren't conscious of the fact that even those, you probably didn't just do perfectly the first time. They're all created, they're all learned. Failure is just part of the learning process. Getting it wrong. It's, I think, because of our schooling or our expectations from our peers, our parents, other people around us, that somewhere in our development we learn this idea that failure is bad, that it means that we're not good enough, right? And maybe it's from our testing at school, right? There's a pass or a fail. You're either good enough or you're not good enough. And that really is a terrible situation to get yourself into, a terrible mindset, right? I see so many clients and so many people who've developed unhealthy relationships with food or unhealthy relationships with activity do so from this lack of self-belief, this idea that we're not good enough, that we're somehow broken. I know that's how I used to feel. I used to think I wasn't good enough. No one liked me enough. I wasn't smart enough. I wasn't charismatic enough. I didn't know what to say in social situations. I remember growing up that I wasn't personable enough. I didn't really know how to relate. And so feeling awkward in social situations, then I would eat as an excuse to not have to talk, to not have to interact. I would use it to buffer. And then eventually I would use it to not even go. Right? And then, of course, when I put on weight, I would use that as evidence against myself that I'm not attractive enough, I'm not charismatic enough, I'm not likable enough. Notice how it's coming from I was already rejecting myself. Now, it's taken a lot of work over my time to help me turn that around. It was the key thing in my weight loss journey that I had to finally realize, and it took quite a long time into my journey for me to get it, to go that, oh, wait, okay. No one else is going to change this for me. I have to take responsibility for it. I'm the one who has to change this. And if I don't like me, no one else is going to like me anyway. I have to believe in me first. I have to summon the courage to allow the possibility that I could look after me, that I'm already good enough. So if you're a person who's already thinking that, I really want you to watch out for that thought, I'm not good enough. It's debilitating. Sometimes I even find it to this day. I promote a program or put out a Facebook ad and I don't get the responses that I'd like. Or, I offer to help people and no one takes me up on the offer, or very few people take me up on the offer. Okay, it doesn't mean I'm not good enough. It just means I haven't informed you yet of the value that you need. I haven't shown you how much I can help. Or you're not my person. That's okay too. Nothing's wrong with that. We have to trust ourselves first. So, step one, just remember, if you're making failure mean something bad about you, I invite you to stop that. I invite you to think about your strengths, what you do well, what your positivity is. And I want you to consider this, that mistake, having a failure, is evidence that you are willing to try, that you are willing to make an effort, that you're willing to push your boundaries, that you're willing to learn and to grow. By the way, all of which are required to create lifelong success. We have to grow, we have to become greater than we were, right? And that's even very helpful if you're thinking that you're not good enough already. Okay, good. Well, let's become something greater. And how do we do that? By being willing to be open to the failure. Right. So, a couple of things here. Look out for the idea that I'm not good enough. If that's there for you, okay, I hear it. I've been there. You could totally change it. It's an optional thought. You don't have to think that. You can simply think, I'm willing to try. I'm willing to grow. I've developed every single skill that I have already in my life. I have the power already to develop skills, to train in new behaviors. That's how I got these. So you already have the tools you need. It's the willingness, the courage, if you like, to continue to do so, to go, okay, I'm going to try something different, with an expectation that you're not going to get it right. Now, this is the second thing I'd like to think. So, first of all, remember that you're willing to change. You signed up for change. And you already learned lots of skills. That's number one. You already know how to fail a lot. You've done it heaps. It's how you created every habit you already have. That's awesome. Let's create some more with it. And then secondly, we want to rethink that failure is bad. What if it's just perfectly ordinary? What if it's just part of the process? What if it's an expectation that of course you'll fail? Right? Just like we would a toddler. We don't think about a toddler. It's like, oh, they tried to stand up and they fell over. We're often excited about that. Like, oh, look, they're starting to stand up. They're trying it out. You know, you got to fall on your bum a lot of times before you learn to walk, before you've actually built up the muscles in your legs so that you can stand. So you've trained your brain. You have a vestibular system, which is your spatial control and balance system. All of those little tiny muscles that keep us upright. You haven't trained them in when you're a baby, when you're a toddler. You got to train them in. Okay. Now I mention that because there's all these other processes going on in your body that we're not very conscious of that have to be trained in. Now, same deal when we want to create a healthy life. As I said, there's hundreds, maybe thousands of little tiny habits that actually need to be mastered as part of the bigger picture. Okay. Well, let's work towards something. Let's be willing to change one thing. Now, this is also why I like to teach all of my clients and teach everyone who wants to succeed with their weight loss, to create a healthy life. One small change at a time that you can live with. Let's just change one thing. There's real power in this process. Being willing to try one thing differently, plan in that change, and then just observe, right? Expect that you won't get it right first go, right? When I'm first learning to listen to my hunger signals, to stop when I'm full, to only eat when I'm hungry, when I'm first learning to make healthy choices, when I'm first learning to manage my stress, my overwhelm, my anxiety, my anger, my frustration, my stresses in my life in a healthier way. Probably not going to get it right first go. If it did, just remember, like, if you could just do it first go, you wouldn't have these unhealthy habits in the first place. You'd have already just been making the healthy habit. If it really was that easy, you would have just have done it already. If you could do it first go, you would have just done it. But you haven't. Why? Because it's unrealistic to expect it to be done first go. In fact, it might take 10, 50, 100, 1,000 goes before you get it right. Okay, it's not a big deal. Doesn't mean anything bad has happened. Doesn't mean there's anything's gone wrong. It's just part of the process. And it can be a useful part of the process. James Joyce calls mistakes or failures, he calls them the portals to discovery. Mistakes are the portals to discovery. And this is what I've come to believe and come to utilize from failure, from our challenges, from our setbacks. Our most difficult times, our most challenging times, the times when we try it and we get it wrong or it doesn't work, that actually teaches us a lot. It can reveal to us our thinking. We can observe the thought patterns, the reactions, the things that we hadn't anticipated when we thought about making the change. Good, now we're aware of those. My expectation was that if I was going to start an exercise routine, for instance, that I would just be motivated and just go it. I've scheduled the time and I expect that at the time I'll just go. But then when it came to time, it's like, nah, I didn't feel like it. I'm too tired. Or I could go later. Or it's raining. Oh, okay. Well, now we've got thinking going on, right? I hadn't anticipated those things. Okay, what are they? So I noticed my brain wanted to make excuses. I'm too tired. Okay, well, what can I do about planning my activity or getting myself moving? So planning my activity so that I'm not so tired. How am I managing my energy the rest of the day? Or the great discovery I discovered when I embraced exercise was that when I do it, I actually get my energy back. I feel better. It was such a surprise to me. I didn't think that. I thought I'm expending energy. I'll be even more tired after. No. What happened was I wasn't physically tired. I was mentally tired. Sometimes you might be emotionally tired. Okay. Your physical body is still capable here. That's a learning from paying attention. So the way I teach it is whenever you want to learn a new skill, whenever you want to change a habit, you're going to plan the one small change. Think about what you might do. And then you want to enact the plan and then notice. You want to pay attention. What happens in your brain? What happens in your feelings? How does it feel? What happens in your actions? And then you want to look at that, evaluate it with compassion and understanding, right? Okay, right. I didn't end up going. I didn't think about what would I do if it rained. Okay, so now we need to come up with solutions, right? So here are the things that my brain offered me as excuses or as reasons, right? Maybe you gave in to temptation and you overate something at a dinner party, right? Oh, I noticed my brain really wanted to beat me up about that. I want to say, you're no good, you're hopeless, you're weak-willed, all of this criticism. Oh, well, that made me feel terrible. That made me want to go eat more. Okay, right? Or I hadn't allowed that there would be social pressure, that other people would be going, go on, you're doing so well, just have one, right? So I need a plan for managing social pressure. I should mention here, by the way, if you are worried about the social season, right? We had Melbourne Cup last week. It's been just been just over a week from Halloween. We're into the silly season, the festive season of the year. And if you do need some help with managing the social situations, managing the festive season, the holidays, in a healthy way, make sure you join me next week for Healthy Holiday Habits. I'm actually doing a 5-day training live in our Weight Loss for Life community on Facebook. Each day I'm going to share hints, tips, and tricks and ideas to manage the 5 most common challenges that people have told me, that I've experienced when it comes to the holidays. So let's make these the most healthy holidays ever. Let's go through this time of year and end up being proud of ourselves instead of disappointed. Let's get to January still fitting into our clothes. Let's get there lighter than we are there now. Let's get there feeling like, oh, okay, I don't have to go and undo all of the gain of the holiday season. You really can achieve your goals even at this time of year. And I propose that if you can, use this time. This is the available time of the year. This is the opportunity to practice so many of these skills. So if you can master these skills or you can train them in, you can get better at them during this holiday season, then the rest of the year is so much easier because you already started training in these skills. You'll get to go faster. You'll stay there. Anyway, if you're interested in that, join me. Make sure you've registered. I'll put the link in the comments or in the description. Let me come and register. Come and join Healthy Holiday Habits. Okay, so I was talking about the change we want to make. So we've learned from our failure. So we've tried something and then we paid attention to what didn't work. And then we want to evaluate that, what worked, what didn't. What would I like to do differently? What can I learn from this? I see so many people having a failure and then wanting to pretend it didn't happen. Like, oh, I'm not going to write that down. I won't record that in my food journal. Or, oh, look, I just put my head in the sand and like, oh, she'll be right. I'll start again tomorrow. Or I'll just do better next time. But with no awareness, no attention given to what were the triggers? What actually worked? What did I actually do? What hadn't I anticipated? What would I like to do differently next time? Like no plan for being better, just a hope, just fingers crossed. And I've never seen that work. No, instead, we want to just go, well, failure, normal, okay, right. Well, if we drop our expectation of success straight away, and just know that, okay, well, failing 10 times, failing 100 times is just part of the deal. Then, okay, all right, well, what number am I up to? What did I learn this time? What would I like to adjust next? So we change our plan, and then we go again. We go again, we go again. This is how we build up the reps. I call it doing the reps. This is how we build up the muscles. This is how we build up the thinking habits. It's how we train in new reactions. Right? If it's raining, I'm going to go walk in the shopping center. I'm going to go to a gym. I'm going to go for a swim and get wet anyway. I'm going to walk in the rain. Did you know you can walk in the rain? Get an umbrella, or you can just get wet. Unlike the Wicked Witch, we're not going to melt in the rain, right? If you do that, take a jacket, a weatherproof jacket, for instance. Don't wear it while you're walking. You actually just get really sweaty and you'll still get wet anyway. But you take it, you maybe fold it up in a pack or something, or in a plastic bag, and then when you stop, that's when you put it on. So the walking will keep you warm in the rain. It's stopping is, hey, this is what I learned from experience, right? It's when you stop is when you'll get cold, etc. So that's when you want the jacket for warmth. Okay? So the point is, failure teaches us something useful. It gives us information that we need in order to make the change that's going to make us successful next. Can we rethink failure? Can we stop making it mean something bad? Right? Let's lose that schoolhouse mentality, right? It's either pass or fail. No. I've succeeded, or I've learned something that I needed to learn. If I haven't mastered it yet, if I haven't gotten to my success, that just means I haven't learned yet what I needed to learn, or I haven't mastered the skills that I needed to master. And the answer to those is pay attention and do more practice. It's really, it can be so perfunctory, it can be so simple. I'm just going to learn what I need to do, pay attention. I'm going to think about what I'll do differently, and then I'm going to try it out and see what works. Now, of course, part of this means reaching to encouragement, reaching to caring for ourselves, loving ourselves forward, and going, okay, it's okay. Nothing's gone wrong. This is what was supposed to happen. I needed to learn this. I needed to find out this information. So I'm going to pay attention to it. Instead of hiding it, don't put the head in the sand, don't ignore it. If you can, make notes. Make notes while it's fresh. Write it down. Brains are terrible at remembering. So, what worked? What didn't? What will I do next? Then we go again. So I really want to invite you into this mindset, right? Expect that when you're making changes, you're creating a new habit. Okay, you're going to get it wrong 100 times, 1,000 times. All right. It's just part of the deal, right? Success lives in the land of failure. I have to just get enough fails to succeed. If you like to think about it this way, you can think about a formula, right? Success equals number of attempts minus the number of fails. Success equals the number of attempts minus the number of fails. So if you want more success, all you have to do is change the number of attempts. Now, I will say here, don't blindly keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. That's why I think, that's why I like Joyce's things. These are portals to discovery. What will I adjust? Now, it might just be a thought. It might just be our thinking. But what am I going to adjust? What am I going to attempt next time? How am I going to do it differently? And then it is just repetition, right? So each time I'm just going to practice one new thing. I'm just going to practice doing it slightly differently from the way I have been doing it. Now, of course, if you need more help actually figuring out how to break it down into manageable steps, to how to pay attention with what is working, what isn't working, if you're feeling stuck and you don't know what's going on, then let's have a conversation. Reach out to me. Book a complimentary one-to-one coaching session with me. I offer a number of those every week on my calendar to help you find out, to understand what is holding you back. Because chances are, I've been doing this for a long time. I've not only experienced it myself, but I've helped tens of thousands of people make changes to their habits. And so, probably going to be able to find the piece that's holding you back, the part that's limiting you. Or I might have some suggestions, that can help you move forward. I can help you find your suggestions. And this is the beauty of working with a coach, right? It's not me telling you what to do. It's you, for me, just helping you find the limiting beliefs, the blocks. And I can offer you some alternatives that you might want to think, and then finding the ones that you can use that work for you. All right. So if you want to learn about working with me, then book a consultation. Or if you just want to get unstuck, you're not sure what the next steps are, you don't know what's holding you back, or you don't know why you can't do it, then let's have a conversation. I can share with you my advice, and then you can take it and do with it what you will. Or if you feel like it's useful for you, you can keep working together. All right, get in touch, book a consultation. If you'd like to, you can do that at livemorelife.com.au and book a consultation or request a consultation. For now, for everyone who's watching, for everyone who's here in this group, what is your relationship with your success? What is your relationship with the failures along the way? I'd love for you to let me know. Do you like failure? Does it fire you up? Does it say, ooh, didn't get there, need to go again, go again, go again? Or does it pique your curiosity? What didn't work about that? What could I do differently? That's fascinating. Or has it been holding you back? And if it is, what are you going to do differently as a result of this video? Can you just make it perfunctory? Can you just make it ordinary? Can you embrace it as part of the process? Now, I will finally say this, you don't have to go and manufacture opportunities to fail. You don't have to go and try and fail. No. There's going to be plenty of opportunities. Life's going to give us those automatically. So we don't have to go and make them. We can just attempt the change. So here's what I'm going to suggest you do. Pick the one change you'd like to make. Think about how you could go about it, and then go and try. And pay attention to what happens. Write down what works, what doesn't, and then decide, with understanding, with compassion, not with criticism or judgment, what you'd like to do next. And then go again. I honestly believe that can take you all the way to a lifetime at goal. That's how I did it. Alright, well, I hope this video has been helpful for you. If it has, make sure you give me a like, give me a heart, let me know that you're here. Tell me your takeaway, tell me what you got out of it. And if you're watching on YouTube or on my video blog, make sure you hit subscribe so you get notified of every new video. I'd love to see you in Healthy Holiday Habits if you are watching this at the time of recording. That's going to be November 16 to 20, 2020, in our Weight Loss for Life community. Or if you'd like some extra help, book a consultation and let's chat. For now, have fun failing. Let's go and embrace it. Let's go get more failures so we have more information, so we know the exact path to take for the next change that is actually going to lead us to our goals, and we can just keep taking the practice that makes it automatic. Thanks for watching today. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.